A 3-in-1 day yesterday? Well, can we run it back again today? I don't know, but we have a great college basketball slate, and you guys know what we do here on the channel. We break down college basketball better than anybody else. I'm going to get into the plays for today. This is the free three. Let's get into it.
I love it, Noble. Noble, I also love your YouTube videos. I watched them while I was gone. That was fire.
But getting paid because yesterday we had a full sweep. Mike going under, that was just icing on the cake. Why are we going to go
in such a weak AFC South?
Unless we have the NBA Blowout Association.
Bang! Knicks take a 1-point lead with 13.
When you hear the sirens, you know what that means.
You
We
got
had a
barbecue back
sweep
there,
on the
and you
board
didn't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
Yo, what is up, family? This is your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video. I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make that money. I know we're in a different location today. It's going to be a very quick show for you guys. Actually, I have to go to jury duty. Who here has ever been to jury duty, right? They actually called me and said, we need you to come in for the court case. So I have an early morning today, so I'm recording this video really quickly for you all. Not going to give you a crazy sell job like I usually do and go into all the details, but overall, we're still going to celebrate our wins and we're still going to put out some plays for today. Yesterday was a great day here on the channel. A great weekend, a great day. We're going to keep the momentum going. Yesterday was another 3-in-1 day here. And you could see over the last week here on the channel, we're 24-13 over the last 7 days. We're up over $1,400. That's a 35% return on investment. You love to see that. For the 4 picks that we took yesterday here officially on the channel, our first best bet of the day was Mr. Jalen Wells over 9.5 points. Well, that was our only miss, and I'm actually mad at it because the bro shot 1 of 6 from the three-point line in the first half. He only played 17 minutes. The Grizzlies get blown out. Bad loss. If he plays for like maybe another half, he finished with 5 points, so we maybe would have gotten to the 10 points. If he hit maybe one more three-pointer and one more layup, we would have been good. But he shot like 1 of 7 from the field in the first quarter, so I think that kind of messed up his confidence, and he didn't really play for the remainder of the game. That was our only loss of the day. Our other victories came with Kawhi Leonard over 16.5 points. That was a sweat, but he finished with 17. We got it done. Our bankroll builder of the day got a little bit sweaty. As you can see, McNeese right here was trailing a little bit in the second half, but they figured out a way to pull it out. We were able to get a 3-legger done, and Michigan, great come from behind win as well. Penn State made it close. I told you Penn State was going to be on upset alert, and sure enough, they covered the spread, but Michigan ends up winning on the money line. And then our other late night winner was UCLA. That's why we took them. I stayed off that Iowa State game for a specific reason, and I was happy I did because you guys saw the way that game ended. So 3-in-1 day yesterday. Let's keep the momentum going today. I'm going to break down what I'm taking real quickly on this college basketball card. A beautiful slate that we have with some great games. St. John's and Georgetown in the Big East. South Carolina, Georgia in the SEC. Kentucky, Tennessee. Great games that we have on the college basketball slate for today. My first best bet of the day is going to be a bet that might not be that popular. It's going to be a team that a lot of people have on their banned list, and I get it. Why? Because they've been losing games. And you know who we're going to go to? That's right, the Dayton Flyers. They are on the road today against the St. Bonaventure Bonnies. And I'm going to take Dayton on the money line here. And you could get them at about minus 145 odds. If you can get it cheaper than that, I saw like minus 130 this morning. The line is moving in favor of Dayton. As you can see here, you got minus 130 on FanDuel. I would lock that in. But let's just do the minus 1.5 here just for odds value, even though I would take the money line here for Dayton. Now, Dayton is on the road, and like I said, they have been a team that a lot of people are probably fading. Let's pull up KenPom real quickly. Let's take a look at Dayton right now. 14-6 on the year, and you can see in the regular middle of the conference season right here, they dropped their 3 of 4 games, including 3 in a row against George Washington, UMass, George Mason. Well, since then, they've been able to turn it around. They were able to pick up an overtime win against Loyola Chicago, a win against Duquesne on the road. And keep in mind, Duquesne won this tournament last year, the A-10. They made the NCAA tournament. And then St. Joseph's, another top 100 team in KenPom, they were able to grab the win there. So seeing them pick up those wins, give me a little bit of confidence to take them now on the road against the St. Bonnie's team, which started off the year really well. Look at the start to the year. Only 1 loss over their first 15 games. 14-1 to start the year. But since conference play started, you can see they've literally dropped 5 of their last 6 games, including the last 3 in a row. Granted, they played some great teams in Duquesne, in George Mason, in BCU. But this is the thing. They lost to this Duquesne team on the road by 18 points. This same Dayton team beat Duquesne on the road by 20 points. That's how good Dayton really is if they're playing good basketball. We saw them kind of sputter at the beginning of the A10 conference play, but now's a good time for them to turn it around. Very similar to what my analysis was on UCLA. When you look at their schedule, this is a great chance for them to make a move. And St. Bonaventure, every time they stepped up in class, they've really just dropped the ball. They haven't been playing good basketball. When you look at the non-conference schedule, Utah State, Providence are the only 2 teams that they played that were really strong. So this was a very, very weak 14-1. And with Dayton's back against the wall in the A10, I like them here in the situational spot. They're heading in this direction. St. Bonnie's headed in that direction. I like Dayton here. We're taking them on money line for our first best bet of the day. Let's lock that in, or -1.5, whatever you want to do as our first pick. Now, our second best bet of the day is also going to come in this college basketball slate, and we're going to go take a look at 2 teams that are typically not known for the bet that I'm going to take, but you know what? If we're not going against the grain, then what are we doing? We're going to go to the Minnesota-Michigan State game. And Minnesota has been a team that I've told you all, they're scary to bet against, especially when you're laying these big spreads. 13.5, 14.5 points. Why? Because they might not win the game, but they're going to cover. Well, Minnesota's won 3 straight games in conference. Let's take a look real quickly at what Minnesota has done recently. They won against Oregon. Nobody was expecting them to win that game. They were 4.5-point underdogs. They win the game outright. They beat Iowa as 8.5-point underdogs. They win that game outright. And then against Michigan, 10.5-point underdogs. They win that game outright. And you can see they covered the spread, even though they're 16-point underdogs against Maryland. They only lose that game by 6 points. So this Minnesota team, they're going to play tough. They're going to play hard. And now they have to travel on the road to East Lansing and take on a Spartan team that is damn good. Michigan State, a lot of people were not talking about them at the beginning of the year. But when you look at them now, they host the second longest win streak in the conference, winning 12 games in a row. You can see what they've been able to do right here. They're 8-0 in conference. They are going to lose at some point. But what's the angle that I'm taking in this game? I'm just going to look at the total, and we're going to go over 139.5. This number is just a little bit way too low that we're getting from this team here, 139. You can see we're getting a good odds value at -106 here. The reason why we're getting this total here is because both of these teams, when you look at the number, they're more under teams than they are over teams. So over under, Michigan 8-11 to the under. Meanwhile, Minnesota's 10-10 evenly split, but they're 2-4 to the under on the road. Meanwhile, Michigan State's 4-10 to the under at home. So why am I taking the over? Because if you dive into the numbers a little bit deeper, both of these offenses have been scoring of late. Let's look at this stat that I saw in Doing Sports here. Minnesota, over 138 or 139 points, and they've gone over this in 5 of the last 5 games. Their games are averaging 147 points over the last 5 games. Meanwhile, Michigan State, they've gone over this total in 5 of their last 5, and they're averaging 155 points in their games. So you can see here that both of these teams are flying over this total, and Minnesota, they've gone over the total of 138, 139 in 9 of the last 10 games. Their games are averaging about 150 points per game. Meanwhile, Michigan State, they've gone over this number in 8 of the last 10 games. But one of the things that I really like is not just that I've seen them score 155 against Rutgers, 158 against Illinois, 175 against Penn State, 146 against Northwestern. Same thing here, 146 against Oregon, 139 against Iowa, 165 against Michigan. It's also these teams already face each other in the regular season to begin. We have to go all the way back to December the 4th, an early conference game, but Michigan State beat Minnesota on the road 90-72. Minnesota wasn't playing that good of a basketball at that time, and Michigan still put up 90 points on them. That is 162 points. So they flew over the total in this game, and now we just need 140 points. Michigan State can drop 90 points in and of themselves. They're 20 in offensive efficiency. It's the defense that we have to worry about here, but I like the way that Minnesota has been scoring the ball lately. They do play a little bit slow, which is why we're getting a very low total here, but their defense, you can see 83rd in defensive efficiency. They are susceptible to giving up points. I think Michigan State can drop 80, 85 points in and of themselves. We just need Minnesota to pitch in here over 139.5. We're locking that in as our second best bet of the day. So we've got 2 picks locked in right now, over 139.5 in Michigan State, Minnesota, and then also Dayton on the money line. or -1.5. Our last best bet is going to be our bankroll builder of the day. We're going to do this real fast because I got to get out of here. And there are a few games that you can take. I'm staying off of some of the trap games. You guys know me. I think St. John's will win this game, but it could be a trap game. Georgetown's at home. South Carolina has yet to win a game in conference, but they've been playing hard. Georgia has been trending in the wrong direction. I don't want to play this game. That could be an upset alert. Same thing with Kentucky. Their offense is good. We know how strong Tennessee's defense is, but if Kentucky's hitting shots, anything can happen. And Tennessee doesn't have the firepower to keep up with Kentucky offensively. So I'm going to go with the games I'm a little bit more sure about. And what we're going to do here is our money line parlay. We're going to take Michigan State, Louisville, and Notre Dame, okay? But the thing about the Michigan State bet, it is the first half. So we're going to go Louisville full game against Wake Forest. We're going to go Notre Dame full game against Georgia Tech. And then we are going to go Michigan State. We're going to go the Sparties here, but I'm isolating it to the first half. I don't want to lay -950 on the money line there. That's just way too many points. So why don't we just go for the first half money line here? You can see it's an 8-point spread in the first half. Just win the first half at home, jump out to a quick start. That gets you to +100 odds. So we're locking that in. If you want to throw in Gonzaga late night to kind of get you over the hump for a little bit of extra juice, you can do Gonzaga. You can do San Diego State. San Jose State is an auto fade. I don't think they've won a single conference game all year. So if you want to do that just to get like a little bit of extra value, that gets you to +133 for 3 legs, right? If you do San Diego State, Gonzaga, if you want to wait till late night, right? I'm not opposed to that. For the sake of this parlay, I'm gonna take out Gonzaga just because I don't want to mess that up there. They should win, but I'll just do San Diego State just so we can get to +114. So I'll lock that in, but it's really those 3 legs: Michigan State first half, Louisville on the money line, and then Notre Dame on the money line. To kind of break those games down a little bit quicker for you guys. Notre Dame is at home against Georgia Tech, as you can see right here. Georgia Tech is just not a really good team in the ACC. Notre Dame picked up a big win last game out to kind of break that. They were winless in conference, I believe, before that last win that they had on Saturday. And that win is kind of like the one that kind of gets the monkey off the back. See, Virginia, and then they also did Boston College. So I'm expecting them to defend the home court today against Georgia Tech. Louisville's a very strong team this year. A lot of people were fading them. We said if they can get their transfers to play well, that's what they've done. 9 straight games they've won in a row. Wake Forest is coming to town. Wake Forest plays well, but they had not a good letdown spot against Duke. They had that game in hand at home. They kept it close, but weren't able to get over the hump. And then, like I said, Michigan State at home to get it done for the Sparties, all right? That's what we're locking in. To kind of show you the full card one more time, we've got the 4-way parlay here: Michigan State first half, Notre Dame, Louisville, and then we threw in San Diego State to just get a little extra odds value there. We're going to take over 139 in Minnesota and Michigan State, and then we got Dayton -1.5 on the spread, but you can take them on the money line as well, all right? That's what we're locking in for this Tuesday card here on the Free 3. For more additional bets I'm adding throughout the day, follow me at Noble Living on all social media and Action Network, so that way you guys can stick with all the picks. So, all right, my friends, let's get to that cheddar. I'll see you on tomorrow's video. And as always, dictate your fate. And let's cash in. Let's have a day. Later.